Hello everyone, it's day 38 of my Webflow developer journey, and today we're gonna dive deep into the CSS variables, and we're gonna learn how to use them, how to create them, and all the basic stuff we need to know how to work with the CSS variables. It will be very important for our Webflow journey. We're gonna use variables a lot, and it's very good to know how to do it um, in the vanilla CSS. So I have my or let's make one HTML structure that we're gonna use. We're gonna have one div, inside we're gonna have a section with a class name card, and inside we'll have one heading with heading 2 with class card title. We need to use quotes. And let's say primary cards and close the H2 tag. We shouldn't forget to, let's make it one paragraph. Was gonna be card text. And let's say this card uses global CSS variables for colors, spacing, and typography. And let's close the paragraph. Let's make one button with class button. And it's gonna be our primary button. Primary button. And let's close the tag. And let's close the section. Did you close everything? And we need to... Let's close the div. So we know it's closed. And okay, we have our section card. And let's make another section with class card out. And inside we're gonna have the same structure like this one. We're just gonna have a different classes. Like actually they're gonna stay the same. Just is gonna be old card. Old card. Like here is the primary card. Here will be the old card. And this card uses global CSS. Now this card. Let's change the text of this paragraph because here we're gonna reuse this card reuses the same CSS, but override a few variables. And okay, and it's gonna be the out button. And do we have everything? I think we have our primary card with the paragraph and the button. And now let's make our variables. So that they're called tokens, and this is how you do it. We're gonna use root, and now let's say this is how we create variable color pg page, and let's say 02 06 17, and now we should have this uh, this variable. Can we try? Let's try have to do it to see if the variable is working. Let's go to our body and say background, and let's say var, and let's call this variable color pg color pg page. Let's see if it's gonna work, and it's not working. Why it's not working? Maybe here we're not doing something the right way. Red, red. I don't know what we're not doing the right way. Let's say let's change the page background. No, it's not working, this variable. Let's do it this way. Not changing. What's gonna happen if I copy and paste this? Now it's changing. But why now it's changing? Let's copy and paste this color here. Now we can see it's working. What's gonna happen if we remove this color? Now it's not working. Maybe we have to call the color like it should work. It should work like this. Why it's not working? Have the background. The variable. Okay, now it's working. What I did wrong before? So here we created the variable. Let's remove all of this. Okay, you can see the variable color bg page is working. We created our first variable and now it's working. So let's create more variables and we're gonna use them in our design. Let's use this color for the variable. Sorry guys, I'm learning this on the go. I never used the CSS variables before. I'm just making this like the way I'm learning. I'm making this video so you can follow along or just watch someone else learning process. It's not so okay. So now we have a variable for the surface. For the surface, let's create for the surface out, and let's make this color. Now let's make variables for our text. Color, text, main. Let's say E5 is 7 dp, and color text, color text muted, and let's say 9CA3AF, and color text strong. Let's say F9, FA, FB, and two more variables for the text. First for the accent, color accent. Let's say 63, 66, F1, and again color accent soft. And let's say DGBA 90, 102, 241, 0.16. And now we have our colors and our text colors as well. And what else do we need? Now we can go and create our variables for the typography. Let's make a comment. This is how you do it. Typography. Then finish the comment. Let's go and copy and paste this for the colors. Say colors. We have our colors variables now. And let's make the typography variables. So for the, we're gonna create the font family base. Let's say system UI, Apple system, link, Mac system font, and go UI, sans serif. Now we have our variable for our font family. And let's make the variables for the font size. Font size base 16 pixels. Font size title 1.2 RAM, 1.2 RAM, and so on. I'm gonna, okay, let's do them actually. Font size body for 0.95 RAM. Now let's make the line height 1.2, line height normal 1.5, and now the font weight font weight regular, let's say 400. This is the regular weight. Let's make the font weight semi-bold, say 600. And now let's create the letter spacing. Letter spacing height, let's say minus 0.02 m, and letter spacing normal, say 0 m. And now let's create our spacing variables. Let's say space 2. It will be 8 pixels. Space 3 will be 12 pixels. Space 4 will be 16 pixels. And space 5 will be 20 pixels. And now let's make the variables for the radius. Say radius card 14 pixels. Radius view 999 pixels. And what else? What more variables do we need? Let's make variables for the shadows. Say shadow card 0, 16 pixels, 14 pixels, RGBA 15, 23, 42, 0.7 opacity. Okay, let's make for the transitions. Let's say transition fast 140 ms, easing soft, cubic bezier. This is a custom property for a transition. Let's say something like this. One. And let's make our layout variables. And this will be our last variables. Layout. And make page max width 120 pixels and card width 120 pixels. And I think we're done with our variables, guys. We created all the variables we're gonna need. I'm not sure if we're gonna use all of them, but this is how you create the variables, how you should organize them. And now let's before we start, let's just select everything with before and after. With this niveau, you select everything before. This is how you do it. And right box. Box sizing. Make it border box. And now let's start our body. Let's target the body. Make the margin 0. Let's make the minimum height 100 viewport height. And display flex. And center everything. Justify content center. And align items center. And it's not working. Because here we need comma. What else we didn't do the right way? Because the flex here is not working. Why it's not working? If we target the page, is it going to work? No. Why it's not working? Present. I forgot to finish a line somewhere. Copy and paste. See. Yeah. What I did wrong here? Here I did a mistake. So we're selecting everything. Or comma. Everything. After. Can't see where is the problem here. Very strange. Oh, here, fuck. Here must be this. That's why it broke the code. Damn. Okay, so everything is working now. Let's continue style our body and use our variables. And let's change the background. And we're gonna use a radial gradient. Circle at the top. And we're gonna choose this color. And then we're gonna give a 0. And we're gonna use our variable for color, e.g. page. And now we have our color. And let's say 55% opacity. Okay, it looks very nice. And we can see this circle. Very nice effect. I like it. And let's now change the font family. When we make the change in the let me finish this line. Now when we make changes to the body, it will affect the whole page. So now when we use our variable family base, and now we can see our font style family has changed. Let's change also just use the base font size. I think this won't make a change. This is the base font size. Later when we're gonna style the paragraphs and the headings, we're gonna change them. But now we're just making the styles for the... And let's change the color of the text to the main. I think this is the white. Yes, and now we have the white text. Amazing. And we're using our variables. So this is great. This is the point of this exercise, to see how our variables can change the styles, how to create them, how to use them. And now let's style the page, the whole page. Let's first target it. And let's use our max width variable. A page max width. And now it's set to 720 pixels. Let's display flex. And let's use our gap variable. Say space 4. And you can see here, we can make it space 2, 4, 2. You can see only here the... I think our max width should be bigger. Let's make a... This is the good thing. Now from our variables, we can make the max width bigger. You can see. Let's make it... we can change everything from here now. And this is great. And now if we change the gap, we can see here the gap is changing. Space 2. If you want to make the gap bigger, we use our space 5 variable. Let's leave it at space 4. And let's add a padding as well. And let's use again our space 4. variable. And now we have some padding implemented. And this is okay for styling the page. And let's now style the, the cards, card component. And let's target the card. And let's use our card width variable. Card width. Okay, to use it, let's see our card width variable. It's 320 pixels. And make it bigger, like 600 pixels. But let's leave it this way. Fine. And let's use our padding variable. Base 4. Should finish our lines. Okay, now we have our padding. Let's add some border radius. First, let's change the color so we can see what's happening actually. We had to do this the first time. The first property that we needed to change was the background. Let's change it now. Let's use this variable color surface out. And now we can see it's a very subtle difference from the background, but it's okay to see. Let's make the border radius. Let's use our border radius variable. A radius card. And now we can see the corners are rounded. What else do we need? Let's add a box shadow and use our shadow variable. The shadow card. And we can see our shadow behind the card. Very beautiful. And let's add border, 1 pixel, solid. And we don't have a variable for it, but we're just gonna use this color. Point 4. And now we can see our border looking good. And let's change the position to relative. Make the overflow hidden. And we have our styles for the card. And now let's make a small glow using a variable based color. This is how we do it. We target the card with the state 4. Now let's say content empty and position absolute. And in set 0. And let's change the background to radio gradient and say circle at top left. and use our variable color accent soft, say transparent 65%, and is it good? I think we did something wrong here. I'm not sure what. We have to remove one of the doors. The opacity 0.9 and pointer events home, and can we see any change? This nothing happens. Got it. Nothing happens. Did I do a mistake somewhere? The syntax. Maybe here I had to close this. And inside I should have cart bigger than everything selected. And then use the position relative. Nothing is changing. Maybe I did some syntax error. Let me see. Yeah, it's working. This glow effect, but what I did wrong? Card 4. We have the content. We have the position absolute. Set 0. Background. Radio gradient. Here circle. Top left. Variable. Color. Accent. Soft. Transparent. 5%. Let me. Oh, here I used this curly bracket. I don't know why. I think this is the problem. I'm doing a lot of syntax errors. I guess it's normal. I'm not used to write CSS like this, but I'm gonna get used to. I like it, the CSS. Here, where is the... I have a mistake somewhere else, but let me... Yeah, here is the mistake. circle top left. Then we use our variable, color accent soft. It's fine. Put top left. Gradient. Let me rewrite this code. So gradient. Then inside you write circle at top left. We use our variable. Here we have to line. Use the color accent. Oh, okay, working now. Okay, let's use the current 65%. And okay, we have our radio gradient inserted. Testing. Now let's type our card title and say margin 0, 0. Use our space variable. 0. This for the title. Let's use our variable for the font size. Font size title. Okay, and now if you want to change this font size, we can just change it from the variable. For example, here from our variables, font size title, we can say rem gonna get bigger. Let's use the 1.2 rem. It's okay. Doesn't have to be big. Let's change the font weight. Use our font weight variable. Make it semi-bold. And we can see it's semi-bold now. Let's change the line height. And use our variable again. The variables are very useful because when you use your variables for a lot of elements, and this is what you should do if you want to have your website consistent and scalable, then just by changing the variable value, you change the values through the entire website because you use the same variable at many places. Letter spacing variable. So it's this is the right way to build things using variables and your design system. And it's okay to use some variables here with the vanilla CSS because it's the same in Webflow. When you create variables and when you see the source code and you see this, you will know what this is now. So we need this basic understanding about how the variables work. in CSS. It's not so complicated. Let's do core text strong. And okay, we start our card title. Now let's style the text using our variables again. Let's say margin 0, 0. You see here how we change the margins. Let's use the space 4. And let's change the font size to our font size body. I think they won't change. We're already using this font size. Oh no, they changed. Let's our line height variable. Line height normal. And our letter spacing. The letter spacing normal. Let's change the color to the muted color we created with the variable. Color text muted. And you can see color is a bit muted. And so far we use variables for colors, for spacing, for typography, radius, shadow. And let's style the button with our variables. And I think we're done, guys. We used a lot of variables. Let's go. Let's display inline flex. The button. Let's align everything center. Justify content center. Okay, now the buttons are centered. Let's make the padding. We're gonna use the space 2 variable. You can make it bigger with space 4 or space 5. But let's keep it at 2. And for this was for the horizontal, or for the vertical. Now let's add for the horizontal padding, the space 4. And now we have the padding. This is for the vertical padding. And this is for the horizontal padding. Space 4. I here space 2 and here space 4. Good. We can make it more square like this. Let's leave it like this. And for the border radius, let's use our Pew variable to make it round, like ellipse. Okay. What else? Let's make a border. 1 pixel, solid, parent. Else, font size. Let's use our body font size. Font size. And font weight. Let's use semibot. Semibot now. Let's use a variable for the letter spacing. We're gonna use the normal. And let's change the cursor to pointer. So when we point, we can see it's changing to pointer here. And let's change the background to our accent color. Okay. And the color of the text to our strong color. Nice. And let's add our transitions. And we're gonna use our variables again. Transition fast. And we also created variables for the easing. Easing soft. Let's make some more make more transitions for the box shadow. Okay. Fast. Bar. Easing soft. It's gonna be the same for the background. Fast and soft. And that's it. We initiated our transitions. And now let's activate them with the button over. Let's say form translate y minus 1 pixels. So 5 pixels. I don't think it's working. Position form position. Here is only one dash. 2. Still not. It's transition, not transitions. Soft. How many mistakes I'm making? A lot. Okay, finally I made it work. Now you can see I can make it 2 pixels. And let's leave it at 1 pixel. You can feel now the button is transforming when you hover it. It's jumping up. Nice. Let's make the box shadows. Shadow 0, 18 pixels, 40 pixels, GPA 99. 102, 8. And now you can see the shadow. Very nice shadow, the box shadow. I like it. And let's change the background on hover to this color. D F8. And now let's see. And now even the background is changing. Nice. And we can make a variable for this color as well. So use only where are the button colors. Here, let's say color button accent and add this color here. And now we can just use this variable here and it's gonna work. First, let's use var and it's working again. Amazing. And what else can we do? We can override some of the old cart variables and override some tokens only for the cart out. And let's see how we can do this. Let's target the cart out. And let's say color surface out and change it to 02, 06, 17, and we can see how the colors are changing. You can change the color accent to F9, 7.3, 16, and we can see how we are overriding the variables. One, 115.16 and 0.20 48 pixels. And you can see, guys. Yeah. 15.9. And that's it. So the cart out still uses the cart and the button styles. Inside that cart, some variables have new values. And everything that uses var color accent or var color surface out automatically changes look. No extra button class. No extra cart class styling, only variable overrides. We just overrided variables. And only for discard out. And I think this was a very good introduction for the CSS variables, guys. We learned a lot. It was very useful for me, this exercise. And that is for today, guys. Thank you for watching and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.